Enzo.com, Enzo.com.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 20 of the Bobby Pickles podcast. Podcasting from the chess area in New York City's Bryant Park, I'm Bobby Pickles. With me today is Wendy Oliveras. Wendy is a proud New Jersey-based Latina entrepreneur. A successful business owner, she is the founder and CEO of Oliveras & Company, a prominent search firm specializing in the recruitment and placement of intellectual property attorneys and partners. Ms. Oliveras is also an author and motivational speaker, two avenues she uses to mentor and inspire women of all ages and backgrounds. Her new book, Let's Play SHESS, SHESS, which is a neologism combining the words she and chess, was written to show the parallels between chess, the strategic board game, and life, a game in its own right. The book has been very well received and is now available on Amazon and on bookshelves in New York City. I found one myself yesterday at the Barnes & Noble on Fifth Avenue. I am so happy to have Miss Oliveras with me today on my podcast. This is a great appropriate setting, which I find quite fitting for this conversation, although we're a little early for the chess, aren't we, Wendy? Because I think it starts actually April 15th or so.
I believe
something
so,
like that.
yes.
But anyway, it's nice. It's somewhat warm. Ladies and gentlemen, women and men alike, entrepreneurs of all ages, welcome to the Bobby Pickles podcast.
Bobby Pickles podcast. He always says, "That's me." With a look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and beer. It's a conversation, start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles podcast.
That's me. So here we are, two entrepreneurial spirits, one male, one female. Our setting, Bryant Park, Midtown Manhattan, nestled in the chess area. Although, like I said before, it's not open quite yet, but that's okay.
But we're here in spirit.
That's right. I always ask my guests to meet me somewhere that is either iconic or important to them in some way. So, Miss Wendy Oliveras, why are we meeting at this, what should be a chess table? Why are we meeting in this chess area in Bryant Park?
I think it's conducive to our conversation because, you know, chess is such a big part of my life on a personal and professional level. But being here actually at Bryant Park and knowing that this is the area where, you know, many novice chess players and more professional type chess players play, I think it's exciting. It's different. I've done several radio blog shows, and it's been, you know, by way of just telephone conversations, which is nice. But this really, truly is a
little bit more personable.
It's
right?
personable. The air is clean. I'm breathing. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I'm excited. It's just a wonderful environment here.
It is. It is. I love, like I said, all different areas, you know, and there's so many iconic places.
Absolutely.
And it really captures everything when you start out the conversation in a place that's important to somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've heard this cliche before. This isn't chess, it's checkers, right? And like the game of life.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Tell me, let's start from the beginning, you know, talk to me about how, you know, how'd you get into this kind of thing?
Yeah.
How does somebody apply their chess playing skills or real life strategies for business development and life in general?
Yeah. Well, to answer the first part of your question, my father taught me how to play chess when I was 14 years old, and that was 35 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I've always just played for fun. But I realized that as I got older, you know, making decisions with respect to my education, even becoming an entrepreneur in 2001, that I am who I am today because I am a chess player. Even though I play for fun, but I've been consistent with playing all 35 years.
So you've never won any championships or anything like that?
No, I never had an interest in truly being, you know, a chess master.
What about the preface of your book? You know, your book,
yes.
Let's Play SHESS.
Succeed
in the game of life and business by playing chess, from pawn to queen.
Yes.
That's a really nice title. I like that.
Thank you.
That antithesis. Do you know
Yes.
antithesis, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, from pawn to queen really relates to the fact that the pawn piece in the chess set is considered the weakest piece. It's worth 1 point, but it's the only piece that's actually promotable to a queen a rook, a bishop, or a knight. But for purposes of my book, I wanted to hone in and focus on promotion of pawn to queen.
Mm-hmm.
And that said, if we make an analogy with real life, every female born into the world is considered, in chess, your game of life, a pawn in life.
You think?
Well,
Just start.
it's in my chess ideology, in my mind, in my mindset, to empower myself and hopefully inspire and empower other women with that, to adopt that mindset. If we look at it that way, every woman that's born into the world, every female anyway, is considered a pawn in life. But only she, as a female, can promote herself to a queen status in life or in business. And that's really the true connection between from pawn to queen.
Do you just speak with women or men also?
Well, actually, the book was initially written to inspire and motivate women to empower themselves through chess. You know, men dominate chess to begin with, so there's only 3% of women competing worldwide professionally.
That's it?
Yeah, approximately 3%. So for me personally, and in my own personal experiences all these years, as a chess player and even as an entrepreneur and small business owner, I think that women would really relate to the message more because it really hones in on them. However, you know, it's open for anyone else, any man. I certainly welcome any man to adopt the chess ideology as well. Actually, here's something funny. SHESS, S-H-E-S-S, still has the word H-E in it, so men don't feel so bad.
Now, is that an acronym or something?
It is. It is. Well, SHESS.
It was based on she and chess, right?
After I've written the book and in talking to so many women organizations and associations, I created an acronym that developed out of the whole SHESS ideology. So the first S would represent self-empowerment. The H represents honor, your honor system. The E represents engagement. You have to be proactive, not inactive in your life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The fourth S is for strategies to move from pawn to queen. And the last S is ultimately your success. So
I love it.
yes, thank you.
It's absolutely awesome.
So that's what I'm building on the women's workshops on
in my opinion, I feel like pretty much damn near everybody is born in this world as a pawn.
Yes.
And it's so hard for somebody who's born in a certain socioeconomic background to get to the next one, you know?
Good point, yes.
And regardless of if you're female or male, you know, you need to get to either the queen or the king.
Right.
And that takes a certain level of persistence, I feel like, right?
If you're talking about achieving success, we have to keep in mind success means something different to everyone, whether you're male or female, whether you're young or old. It doesn't matter. Success is something that you set a goal and you accomplish that. And it could be a minor thing. It could be losing 5 pounds within a month. I don't know. Whatever that is. So when we talk about success, we have to be careful, you know, because success means something different to everyone. And in chess, the beauty of chess, that ideology that I'm trying to motivate women to adopt, really means you have to believe in yourself first before anything can happen in your life. Don't look for that successful thing first. Look for who are you, understand who you are, have self-awareness, self-acceptance, because if you don't have that, then you can't move to the next level. And then ultimately your success, which really, to me, success for me personally means setting a goal, accomplishing it, and it's not even about money. It's about something, a personal internal satisfaction that I derive from doing something that I set my mind to do.
You do a lot of motivational speaking, right?
Yes, I'm talking to a lot of women groups. I'm developing some...
You're a complete feminist, aren't you? Just
actually, you know what? I'm not. I actually...
You have a...
Maybe I'm a soft feminist. I don't know.
But you do... Hold on one second. Let me go through this laundry list here that I saw. There are... You keep hitting me. To everybody at home, she keeps on hitting me.
Because... You deserve it.
You have to have a strong personality to be successful too, right?
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
You have to have not necessarily a strong personality per se. You have to be self-disciplined. You have to know what it is that you want. You have to have passion in what you're doing. And you have to have a plan. You have to think, plan, and then react.
I think it takes a strong personality to do that. I mean, as somebody who coaches a lot of, I find myself talking to people and trying to talk them off the ledge and trying to get them motivated to take the world by the horns and stuff.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people have a certain block and they just, in Buddhism, the main thing with Buddhism is I'm above nobody, I'm below nobody. Right. We're all human. We're all going to die someday.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if there's anything anybody else is doing, I can do it as well. Right? Because I'm a human being just like that person. And if I put in the effort and I really want to do it, eventually, if I just go towards it as just with the utmost persistence, it's going to happen eventually. But you have a lot of networking groups that you're a part of, right?
Yes.
I mean, so many. The NJTC, right?
I'm an ambassador for the New Jersey Technology Council.
So what's that about?
What they focus on generally is the assistance and promotion of startup technology companies.
Okay.
Whether it's medical devices or high technology.
All right, so that's both sides of the aisle. International Toastmasters, right? You like speaking and
that helps me to organize my thoughts.
How long have you been involved with that kind of thing?
1 year.
Really?
Yep.
How is that? Has that
this
helped
month
you?
actually makes it a year.
I was always thinking about doing Toastmasters.
I highly recommend it.
What do they teach you how to give a toast at a wedding or something?
No, what they do is they teach you very basic steps on how to face your fear for public speaking under any circumstance, whether it's an impromptu statement, whatever it is, a speech. It teaches you how to stand correctly, how to avoid the ums and the ahs and all the other stuff that comes with, nervousness. But most importantly, it gives you the confidence you need to stand up and talk in front of anybody, regardless of the size of the audience. And that's what has helped me to gain more confidence in public speaking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
WIPP, what is that? Women Impacting Public Policy. A little bit of politics there?
Yeah, WIP is an organization. I'm a member of NAJABO, which is affiliated with WIP.
It is?
Yes. The NJAWBO is the New Jersey Association of Women Business Owners. We are the largest women business owners in the entire state of New Jersey.
You're the president as well of your chapter?
I was the former president of the Hudson County chapter from 2009 to 2012.
And that's Hudson County is like northern New Jersey,
yes.
Right? Jersey City and everything?
Jersey City, Hudson, Hoboken, Weehawken, Bayonne.
That's a great area.
It's a great area. It's
I love
happening.
That area.
I love Jersey City.
As opposed to South Jersey, which is completely different in the state, right? Wouldn't you say?
I suppose. I mean, I'm originally from Manhattan, but
you are?
Yes.
Where were you brought up?
103rd and Columbus Avenue.
Okay.
On the west side. On one end, I had Central Park West, and then on the other end, I had Riverside Park.
So that was like starting in the Harlem area, right? Or
no.
Oh,
it's just the Upper West Side.
Upper West Side.
Yeah.
When does it get into Harlem?
I think it's
19th or something like that.
116th. No, 116th Street is considered La Marqueta area, the market area, and then 119th Street and up is.
Look at you
Harlem.
dropping your Spanish.
I have to.
What is your background? You're Latina. What is it?
My parents are from the beautiful Isla de Puerto Rico, and I was born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Manhattan, and I've been living in New Jersey. Wow. About 20 years.
Why'd you move to New Jersey?
Well, it was an investment in a townhome. So, ironically enough, even though I grew up in Manhattan, I love the country setting. And even as I've gotten older, I'm beginning to love it even more.
You are?
I love the country. I love hiking, and I love the outdoors.
Yeah?
Camping, anything that has to do with outdoors, I love. So.
Yeah, I love that stuff too. But I like the city a little bit more, I feel like. But getting back to this, so that group you're involved with, and then the National Association of Professional Women, right?
Yes.
NAPW
Oh,
as
NAPW,
well?
yes.
So there's a lot of women-focused organizations. Is basically
and
what I was just
NAFI is also
That's another one?
Yeah, the National Association of Female Executives. Yeah.
Do you get a lot from these? What's MDN?
Mother-Daughter Network.
Mother-Daughter Network.
Yes, I'm on the board of trustees. And
so you're like a super networker, would you say?
I am. You know what? I love talking to people. I want to learn everything from everyone. My brain is a sponge. I want to learn, and I just love talking to people and finding out where are you from. What's your thing? What makes you work?
Tick.
A tick or talk or whatever. I think it's important to network because it builds confidence. And it's always an avenue to learn something new from someone. It's not about, I know everything, I'm better than anyone. It's about me being a human being on this earth and learning from everyone in every walks of life. And that is what makes my life so special. And the more it's varied, the happier I am, because, there's a lot of negativity in this world. And so I think that it's all relative to living a happy life. It's meeting people and engaging in great conversations and food.
Oh, that's a major thing, right?
Yes.
Especially with the Latin background, correct?
Absolutely. And the music. I'm a musician as well.
You are? Look at you.
Yes, I don't talk about that too much, but yes, I am.
Well,
I'm a Latin percussionist. I play congas.
Drums?
Not the traps, not drum set per se, or timbales.
Okay.
But I do play hand drums. I play the dumbek drum, the congas, the bongos, the clave, maracas, guido, all the typical Latin.
Wait a second, guido?
The guido, yeah.
The guido?
Yeah.
The guido is a drum? I didn't know that.
No, the guido is the... It's the
oh, it is?
You know?
I didn't know what that was called.
He's so funny.
I was thinking of something else. We got to take you to a drum circle one of these days. You been to a drum circle? You been to some of those?
Not really.
No?
No.
Dancing around the fire?
No.
I'm from Florida, so we used to always have the drum circles out on the beach, and everybody just brings their drums.
That's
cool.
Well, I've done that at Asbury Park.
Oh yeah,
last
Asbury
summer.
Park. Yeah,
yeah.
That's a predominantly like Italian area, right?
Yeah. They had this whole section on the boardwalk where you have all of these drummers, all types of drums, hand drums, and everyone's just jamming.
That's what it is.
And
drum circle.
And I love it.
Me too.
I mean, I did that last summer, but unfortunately, half the guys couldn't keep up with me because they just couldn't keep their timing.
Right. You just came
in. They were just way off. I was like, oh, no, I can't do this. Gotta go.
Yeah, they just play.
It's like they're not even on beat. And it's like, so that was a little, it was fun, but it was, okay, I can't do this for too long. I was in an all-female band in the early 90s.
You were?
Yeah, called the T-Dolls. And we used to headline at CBGB's on Saturday nights at
Was that punk rock? You were playing punk?
It was actually initially rock and roll. And then when I joined the group, I integrated my Latin beats, so we kind of changed our sound to more like a pseudo-Latin Santana-ish, style of music. And it was wonderful.
That's really cool.
So we did that for about 5 years.
You did?
We did the whole circuit, all New York circuit.
So you're
Kenny's
like
Castaways, The Bitter End, CBGB's.
And you saw it before it all changed and everything, right?
It was in the early 90s.
Oh, early 90s.
Yeah, early
okay.
90s, yeah.
So it was like starting to turn?
Like 94, 93.
It was starting to like gentrify and turn that area, like the East Village area, right?
Yes. But it was also the West Village.
And the West
Because The
Village.
Bitter End, Kenny's Castaways, we've played at the China Club. Anyway.
So you're talking about your networking, right? And all these different organizations that you're involved in.
Yes.
Right? What about like online? You're online too, right? Even online
Absolutely,
networking?
of course.
And all that stuff?
I'm on Twitter. Let's Play SHESS. I'm on
LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn under Wendy Oliveras.
Let me ask you a question. This is funny. I had a funny thing happen to me right before I happened out of the door today to come meet you.
Okay.
I got a phone call. Before this, I was on LinkedIn, right? And I saw something that Deepak Chopra had posted or whatever. By the way, do you follow Deepak Chopra at all?
I do.
You like him?
Yes.
I had a feeling you would. Okay.
I do very much.
I
actually even quote him in my book.
Oh my God! Please don't tell me that.
Yes.
Okay, so listen, I liked him too at first, and my girlfriend at the time, she was really into Deepak Chopra, so I watched a couple of his things. I participated in some of his meditation instructional stuff, just because I believe it's good. I enjoy meditation. So anyway, I got into some of his stuff, and one thing that he said was what I had already mentioned to you before, but the main teaching in Buddhism, that everybody's the same and it doesn't matter, right? He was the one that I heard that from first. Mm-hmm. And that always resonated with me, okay? Yes. So anyway, I used to be a salesman, right?
Okay. No kidding.
Of course, yeah. That's where I come from, right? That's the world I come from. I used to be a salesman. Actually,
well, you certainly have the gift for
I've sold all kinds of different things. But when I first moved here to New York City, I sold cell phones, all right? And it just so happened to be very, very close to Deepak Chopra's office, the store that I worked at. It was right by like the ABC carpet. That's where his store is. So one day he comes in for a charger, and nobody knows who this person is whatsoever, but I do, right?
Right.
I go up to him, I say, "Hey, Deepak, what's up? How you doing? What do you need?" He says, "I need a charger for my iPhone." "Okay, come with me. I got it for you. Come with me." I get the charger for him. I'm going very quick too. I'm not like talking his ear off. I'm ringing him out while I'm doing it. Just gentle little chatter like here and there. And I say, "Deepak, I just wanted to tell you that one of the things that you said really resonates with me. It really struck a chord with me. And that was when you said the thing about all human beings are the same. Nobody's beneath anybody. Nobody's above anybody. We're all the same. We're all going to die someday." He looks at me and goes, "Hurry it up, buddy."
Wow.
Now,
that's tough.
Now this is a guy, right?
That's tough.
Now listen, everybody's different, right? I have bad days, you have bad days, right? You might snap at somebody.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, should based on that one encounter with the gentleman, should I just vilify him and hate him?
No.
Unfortunately,
no.
I do though.
No, that's not
I mean,
fair.
I feel like that really.
Well,
think
that's
about
not
it.
fair. You don't know what he was going through.
But
you
think
you
about
never
it though.
know.
You're somebody's telling you something. They're not sitting there and they're not going off on you and talking to you overly and like fawning over you and freaking out over you because you're a celebrity or anything like that.
Right.
They just say, "Hey, listen, something that you said resonates with me," and that's it. And that's what you say back to the person.
Well, I know.
Think about.
I know how I am. I would never do that. I would be very welcoming and say, "Well, thank you so much for that. I'm honored," because that's how I am.
Right.
But if
think about that message that he supposedly pushes, and think about how he acted in that situation.
It can be construed as a hypocritical statement.
Very hypocritical.
But we can't judge him for that one initial moment of, God knows what he was going through at that moment. We can't judge him for that.
Anyway, you're a bigger person than I chalk him up as a charlatan. I really do. I really do. Genuinely, based on that, looked right in his eyes, and I saw what he was all about. And so I put that on LinkedIn today. I saw this thing on Deepak Chopra, and I just commented.
Yes.
I just said, "I met this man in person. The guy's a complete charlatan. Don't ever trust anything he says." Anyway, I get a phone call while I'm walking out, and it's not Deepak or anything like that, but somebody answers the phone. They called my business number, the one that I have on LinkedIn,
right?
And it's this female, this woman, and she said, "Hey, how you doing, Bobby? I just wanted to call you today and tell you that I saw your LinkedIn comment, and I think it's so courageous that you put that on there because I believe the same thing, and that's awesome that you did that." I went, "Wow, I can't believe that you're calling me about this."
Well, it's relative. I mean, it's your opinion, it's your experience.
Right.
I know that I would never, if someone read my book and approached me and said, "I loved your book," or I could relate to your strategies or whatever, then I would never say something negative about that.
That's messed up, right?
In a way it is, but again, I can't judge him. I can't.
See,
it could be one moment of.
I have both sides, right?
How do you know he wasn't sick?
I have a lot of self-awareness.
Maybe he just. I'm not making excuses for him because it's not my place.
I have a lot of self-awareness. I
understand
how I act.
I do think you're being a little too harsh on him. Just go with the flow. Whatever.
But maybe Deepak was having a bad day that day, right?
You know what? He's in his world and I'm in mine. I mean.
I just wanted to bring that up today, though. I thought that was an interesting thing that happened.
It is interesting.
And I was reminded of that story.
Yes.
Yes. That's an interesting story. But yeah, you're right. Let's not take the focus off of you. Let's talk some more about you and your thing. And that's SHESS. Okay?
SHESS.
Absolutely.
Do you like the name?
I do. I love the play on words. Now, is this your first time writing a book?
No, this is actually... Well, this is my first self-published attempt.
Okay.
But I do have 2 other publications with Aspitor Inc.
How do you feel about the self-publishing that's going on? There's a lot of self-publishing, just like podcasting, where you can, if you have the wherewithal, you can buy your own radio equipment.
Absolutely.
Right? The internet has changed so many things.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating that people...
Well, self-publishing, and that's an excellent question. When I first wrote the book, I was considering, do I prepare it and pitch it to the majors? Mm-hmm. Random House and Penguin Publishings and all that. I started doing some research, and I said, I'm an entrepreneur, and I know how I am. I like to do things my way most of the time or whatever. And I said, I want to experience self-publishing. And then I spoke to a few friends of mine who have already self-published, and like Lisa Bullard, who wrote A Ripple Effect. And she kind of guided me also on her experience and her journey through self-publishing. And I said, this is something that I think I can handle. And so I did. And I, signed up with Author House because they were highly recommended. And which actually they're just recently became a subsidiary of Penguin Publishing. So that helps. And not to mention that the biggest challenge, I think, in self-publishing is not necessarily having it published per se. It's the marketing and the advertising that comes after that.
It's so funny, all these different businesses.
That's the key.
Yeah, all these businesses that they used to have, like, that was it. There's the only way to succeed was to go through them. Are all crumbling, I feel like.
Yeah.
A lot of them are. Because people are finding out they can do a lot. They can network, right?
Sure.
They can get into the social media stuff.
Sure.
You're not going to you don't need anybody to do that for you.
No.
Right?
No.
And it's all about your ability. I mean, you seem like a very gung-ho person.
And I am. I mean, what I do is, again, because I'm a chess player, I anticipate my opponent's moves, right? Next moves. And so if I'm going to self-publish, then I have to anticipate once that is accomplished and it's a print-on-demand publication, then what is it that I need to do to get the name out? So I have to develop a website. And after contacting several different web hosting companies and web developers and graphic designers and all that, they were charging so much money that I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to figure this out. And I taught myself the program, and I did it. My website, playchess.com, I did myself.
You did yourself?
Yes. I learn as I go along. And I think that's one of the most beneficial and satisfying feelings I have about self-publishing is that it's my baby. I gave birth to it, and I have control over, everything, my royalties and how it's being distributed and to whom. And
a lot of self-publishers are picked up, though. They're picked up by, they have a wing and stuff.
Yes,
and then they start seeing
look,
the sales happening.
My book is it's on the shelves at Barnes & Noble.
Which is awesome.
That's unheard of. I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything, but humbly I'm saying that if I died tomorrow, I would be very happy.
I know you're going to do a lot more than that, though.
Yeah, but it's.
But that is so cool that you ended up getting that in there, and that's a total salesmanship
and I'm
kind
also
of deal, right?
I'm also working on, now that I know what it takes to self-publish and market, and I'm developing a wonderful, invaluable contact base and networking base of people in publishing and PR and everywhere.
So you're going to have to give me your list.
Well, it's going to cost you. But
the shakedown.
Yep. But the next project after this is, while this book is being translated into Spanish, there's a huge Hispanic Latino market that there's a high demand for it in Spanish now. So I'm working on that, and simultaneously...
How does this translate into Spanish? What's the name of the book in Spanish?
Well, it would be Juguemos Chess, sé exitosa en el juego de la vida y negocios jugando ajedrez de peón a reina. Is that cool or what?
Yes, it is. It sounds great. I don't know what it means. But it sounds fantastic.
Well, I just translated what it means.
Yes.
Juguemos means let's play. Chess is chess.
Yes.
And sé exitosa means be successful en el juego de tu vida, in your game of life, right? Y negocios and business, jugando ajedrez, by playing chess. De, which is from peón, pawn, a, to reina, queen.
Nice. That's awesome.
But I'm also working on a children's book series, which I'm really excited about. That's going to be...
What's the deal with that?
Well, the deal with that is it's, on my free time, I work on certain things about it. And I can't disclose the name of it yet because it's not finished. I'm not...
Working with an illustrator to make some stuff?
I have someone that I'm talking to, but we'll see. I don't know yet. I'm still...
I have a lot of illustrators that I've worked with in the past.
All right, well, we'll touch base. Well, I have a niece who, Stephanie Matos, is an amazing illustration,ist and graphic designer. So
Did she help you out also with the website?
She was.
Everything too?
Will Nickley is actually my book cover designer, and he's the one who ultimately made my pawn to queen logo come to life. But my niece Stephanie Matos also was instrumental in guiding me and
so can you teach me like a little bit about chess and stuff and like how this will apply to my life maybe or something?
Chess, let's very simplistically, the game chess, consider it.
Your father was a big chess player?
Well, no, I mean he played it in the army, so
he did.
Yeah,
and he taught you how to play, right?
At 14, I was 14 when he started. You know,
and then you just like go, oh, I love playing chess.
No, it took me a little while to get acclimated, and I was, I feared it in a way. I was intimidated by it because he was telling me what each piece does and how it moves, and I was overwhelmed. I'm 14. I want to go ride my bike. I want to be outside. Mm-hmm. And he was thankfully very persistent. He says, come on, Wendy, you're intelligent. You can do this. You can play this. Well, I eventually picked it up, and as I picked it up, I started engaging in it, and I just loved even if I lost, I didn't care. Like, I would get frustrated, but I didn't care about losing. What mattered to me the most was just playing.
Mm-hmm. Do you kind of feel like that's today, do you feel like that's like your big message also?
Yes,
like, just play.
Huge message.
Doesn't even matter if you lose, you just play, because at least you're putting yourself in the position where you have the possibility of winning, right?
Absolutely.
And if you don't play, you're definitely going to lose.
Absolutely. And this is one of the messages that I'm trying to get out to these women, the young women, the older women. If you approach chess with fear and intimidation, then you're not going to enjoy the process. Approach chess with an open mind and say, you know what, I want to learn to play for fun. If you look at it that way, there's no pressure. You don't need that kind of pressure on yourself with your busy schedule and all the other stuff. But I tell you one thing, once it kicks in your brain, and once you get it, and you make that emotional and intellectual connection to chess, the rest will be history. Mm-hmm. Things will change. You're going to start to analyze your problems with more logical clarity. You're going to think better. You're going to anticipate opponents. And, you had asked me about chess and life, mm-hmm. some analogies. One of the main analogies in chess and life is that in chess there's an opening, a middle, and an end game. Three stages, if you will. And I say the same thing is in any problem or any goal that you set. There's the beginning of it, there's the middle of it, there's the end of it, right? Mm-hmm. So unlike the board game chess, there's rules and regulations. But in life, the beauty of chess is that no one's judging you. It's not mandatory for you to live your life and make decisions in a particular way. You live your life the best way you can, but you also are cognizant of what is occurring around you. Who are your friends? Who you're bringing into your life? Who are your business associates? Who are your competitors in your marketplace? What issues are you dealing with on a daily basis? Because, one of the most important messages from this whole chess ideology is that when you play chess, there's always that element of change that occurs. You can't expect it. It's never predictable. Something in that game is going to change. And it's going to force you to change your mindset at that very moment. You had a plan, you had a strategy, but your opponent did something to the game that switched it all around. So now you have to rethink quickly, mm-hmm. and re-strategize and develop new tactics, because the ultimate goal is to capture your opponent's king and win the game.
Isn't like the whole thing that you have to plan all your moves ahead of time?
Absolutely. Well, it is. But you can also play, when you play the blitz, it's real quick. So you don't really have that time to that. That luxury of
the blitz. The blitz is when you're timing
really quick.
yourself.
It's really quick. It's like a 15-minute game.
Okay.
And it's like boom, 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 bam, and it's done.
Okay.
So when you're playing a leisure game,
now
that you have to really strategize.
So would you say you have to switch it up as far as should you switch up your style from leisure to blitz in life?
Well, it's not. It's not a matter of style per se. It's a matter of
because in life, you have to be a little bit more cunning? You have to plot it.
How do you react to something?
Mm-hmm.
So the element of change in chess is relevant to the element of change in your life, whether on a personal or professional level. Let's say you're working and then you get a phone call and you were hoping to get this deal, that this deal would happen. And then very last minute, you were sure that this was going to go through for you. And all of a sudden, the guy calls or the woman calls and says, we're backing out, we're not doing it, thanks for your time. Just like that. And he's dropping the ball on you.
Yes.
And now you've got thousands of dollars invested in this project. And now what do? That's an element of change.
Right, which happens all the time.
Right. So what I'm saying is in chess for women, to empower them.
Everybody.
Yeah, but my focus is,
right, okay,
is building and empowering women because we need that. We need to work together to empower ourselves, right?
Right.
So that element of change is really important.
Why not something else that more women do? You were talking about there's only 3% of chess players are women. So
competing professionally.
So there's more than that who actually play.
There's a lot of women. There are many women who play, but it's not really it's a boys' game, really.
I mean,
historically,
it is.
Society has.
That's my point, though.
Yeah,
so my point is, why use, a metaphor that's directed towards a demographic that don't take part in that particular thing that you're...
Well, the reason is because that's exactly what is needed, is a metaphor. That's exactly what we need to empower women.
But why not have a metaphor for something that more women do? That more women
here's the reason why. Because I am an average woman, right?
I think you're above average.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm an average chess player. I play for fun.
Okay.
And if I'm attesting my own personal journey, if I'm telling you, look, I'm telling you that I am who I am. The way I think, the way I analyze everything in my life, is because I'm a chess player. And it has helped me. I live here. I'm standing here telling you, I know that I am who I am because I'm a chess player. Why can't I share that with other women who have so many fears and all kinds of, a lack of confidence in their abilities? As a mentor to begin with and a coach, career coach, I believe it's important for me to share this story with them. Mm-hmm. So it is important to reach out to that minority of women who don't play. Though that's my captive audience. Those are the women that I want to reinvigorate. I want to tap into their inquisitive minds and entrepreneurial spirit. That's what I want to tap into.
Do you encourage them to take up chess?
Absolutely.
Buy a chess board
Absolutely.
or come to Bryant Park like we're here right now.
Yeah, I mean wherever you can. I'm a member of the United States Chess Federation, and so. Women are asking me, can I teach them? So I'm trying to put together a SHESS for Success program where you'll have the acronym built into it, the self-empowerment, honor system, and all the other stuff, engagement, but also the very basics of chess to get them inspired, and then join a club, the USCF. And you never know. I mean, they may have daughters or granddaughters or nieces that may get inspired to learn to play as well and put them in chess clubs. Because, children that learn chess actually become better students. They become more studious. There's a sense of confidence that they gain at a very early age that they carry into their adulthood. It happened to me. Now, I wish that I knew this analogy back then, because then I would have probably competed.
Right.
But to compete, you really got to devote 8 to 10 hours a day on that. That's really a very strenuous effort. And I think that's probably why there's more men in it than women. Because, as women, we bear the children and we have to be home. And you know how it is. It's just like the typical societal impression that, women stay home or they cook and clean or whatever it is. So
you actually got a professional chess player, female, correct? Like a chess champion, to write the preface for your book, correct?
The foreword?
The foreword
of my book is written by Ruth Herring, who's the current president of the United States Chess Federation.
She's the president? Was
yes.
she a past champion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So she completely wholeheartedly endorses.
So she endorses my contentions, my book, And she actually says that if she was to write a book like this, it would, her own book from her childhood, that it would be similar to this.
When you were talking about how you translated, this is just like a random thought.
Yes.
How you translated it into Spanish.
Yes.
Why did you say SHESS though for the Spanish? Why don't you use the
because
the word?
Because chess, there's no such word.
What is the Spanish word for chess?
For ajedrez.
What is it?
Ajedrez.
How's that spelled?
Ajedrez.
Yeah.
Ajedrez.
So there's no way to like.
Right. So, but I'm not saying chess.
Right.
So chess is the brand name.
Yes.
That's built out of this whole ideology. So I'm not going to change it. And even in Spanish, chess.
Yes.
In English, it's chess.
That's correct.
So
Of
it
course.
doesn't really matter.
Oh man, it's a nice day today.
It's
isn't
beautiful. It's beautiful.
It? God, it is so nice out. Now the sun's out. It's gorgeous. I
Yes,
can't wait till
yes,
it gets
it is.
a little bit
I know.
a little bit warmer though, right?
Sure.
So but really, when you got into all this, you have to have a reason to preach what you do, right? So you've
Yeah,
had success
yeah.
in the business world as an entrepreneur.
Well, that's an excellent point and question. When I first started writing Let's Play Chess,
Mm-hmm.
that was really because of two factors that encouraged me, guided me to write this. The first was the fact that I'm a chess player. When I made that Chess Life collection, then I said, okay, that's a message that I would love to share with my friends, my girlfriends, my colleagues and all that. But the other most significant reason is because during the 2008 downturn, economic downturn,
Which hit everybody. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I mean, it hit everyone. But, my business is legal recruitment. So the law profession really changed very drastically. So law firms, my clientele, stopped hiring. So if they stop hiring, then I don't earn a living.
Right.
So that I found myself in a very precarious and
How
challenging.
did you get into that line of work?
Well, I was a patent paralegal 19 years in New York. I worked mostly in intellectual property law firms. And
Can I talk to you about a little bit
yeah,
of
sure.
intellectual property?
Sure,
I mean,
absolutely.
I make T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
And I base them on people of history,
Yes.
politics, pop culture.
Okay.
But I'm focusing on dead people because I feel like, then I can get away with not having to pay licensing. Do you know any
Well-
about this?
Well, that I would be careful with because, for example, Andy Warhol, I think that there was a case back many years ago about that.
There
So
was?
So you can't. I don't know.
I did see something on
Unless-
60 Minutes where there was a guy who represented all these dead celebrities, and you still had to
I
pay
would
some
be
kind of
careful.
royalties.
Let's use Michael Jackson with all due respect.
Okay,
for
okay.
example.
Yes.
So let's say you're doing what you're doing and you're copying a lot of his stuff.
Not copying. It would be an illustration of somebody that would possibly. It's based on like their face and their
Okay.
image, right? So it'd
Yeah.
be an illustration of them
Okay.
in some way, not exact, but you can tell it's Michael Jackson, and then
Okay.
some kind of maybe sarcastic or something like
Yeah.
message that goes
Right.
along with that. That
I don't know about that. I
No?
mean, I wouldn't want to do anything that's anywhere near. Like
Well, that's-
a
I mean,
pop
that's- it's all-
culture
it's all in that-
icon.
I'm all in. I mean, I've
But,
been doing it for
you
4
know,
years, and that's
yeah.
definitely what we're doing. So I don't know if we're going to get sued or what.
Well,
but
maybe-
we're doing it regardless of if it's illegal or not. So, but
Well, that's the beauty of patents and trademarks. They,
yeah.
like if you have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's with regard to a trademark, that's really your logo. It represents like this pawn to queen.
Right.
This here, even if you didn't attach any of the words to it, my
Mm-hmm.
goal is here and abroad, when they see this, they'll know that means chess from pawn to queen. They'll get that message. I hope, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to protect that because if you don't really necessarily have to file a trademark. The only difference is if you don't and someone copies it, then you don't have.
Now, trademark, isn't that that's something that marks your trade, right?
Yeah.
Like, so for instance, like Louis Vuitton has red.
Or Nike, the check, Nike.
Yeah, the
that,
check.
That represents when you see it.
When you see it, that's Nike.
their trademark. They
right?
own that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, Yeah, exactly. So that's the trademark. So that like,
Right.
I mean, you know, what was happening with Samsung versus, you know, like I said, I'm bringing up cell phones,
Yeah.
but iPhone and Samsung were suing each other back and
Yes,
forth all
yes.
throughout the world,
Yeah.
and it was based on intellectual property because it was like the Samsung Android phones had very sleek features,
Right.
and that sleekness
Right.
was attributed to like an iPhone.
Well, what happens with patents?
But patents are different.
trademarks,
Yeah,
if it's confusingly similar in the industry, then you could lose your case.
right.
So if you're copying something that's confusingly similar to that registered trademark, that's when the owner of that trademark can, you know,
Yeah.
file a cease and desist letter 1st. They send you a cease and desist letter first, and
Yes.
then they follow up with a lawsuit.
See,
if
we're not
you
doing
don't-
any of that.
Okay.
All we're doing is we're basing it on people, though. We're making an illustration. We're not taking their picture or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're drawing them, right?
Yeah.
And then we're making it, you know, something that, like, for instance, like,
Yeah.
okay, so we have a Bruce Lee, right?
Oh, I love Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee's awesome.
I was a huge fan of Bruce Lee. Huge. You have no idea.
I'll show you Bruce Lee really quick. Let me just show it to you, all right? Really fast. It's right here
Okay.
on my phone. Hold on. Let me just get into
I
it.
absolutely love Bruce Lee.
Now, Bruce Lee was awesome. Now, if you're a Bruce Lee fan, you might know that, do you remember where he said, be like water? Because water doesn't take any form. It will
Yes,
respond
yes,
to anything,
yes,
right?
yes. Oh, this
So
is-
so
this
it's
is
an image of Bruce Lee, and he's
Right.
coming out of the water, and it says "Be like water."
Right.
Do you think that I have anything to fear if I was going to
No.
make? Right.
Not with this.
This is not stealing from people or anything
Because
like
it doesn't really look like him that much in the first place.
that. Right. Yeah,
Not
but
his
a lot
face.
some stuff. I mean, like Hunter S. Thompson. Do you know who Hunter S. Thompson
No, I
is?
don't know who that is.
Okay, he was a crazy writer back in the 70s. But that's the whole thing, though.
Right.
That's what the basis is. People
Right.
of history.
But if
I'm
I look,
focusing
okay,
on
but
dead
here's my
people.
point.
Yes?
If I was to look at that Bruce Lee picture
Right.
that you just showed me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if you didn't mention Bruce Lee, I wouldn't think it was Bruce
Yeah,
Lee.
so we don't have their name in it or anything.
Right,
Like that. It's
so-
something that if you know, like it's
Right.
pseudo-intellectual.
Right.
If you're a person who's somewhat intelligent and knows all these different vast things, Wikipedia generation, right? So many people self-publishing, self-educating.
Yes.
Right? Podcasting. It's the time of the self, right?
Well, I think, you
With
know,
the internet and everything like that. But but my point is, yeah, if you don't have like Hunter S. Thompson or Bruce Lee on there, nobody. Hey, who's to say that that's
Right.
that person anyway?
right.
Right.
I agree.
Okay. Good. Nice.
Absolutely.
Good.
You're funny.
Thank you for agreeing. I'm funny.
Yeah, you are.
Why? I'm funny how?
Just funny.
Oh, I like your cards.
Thank you.
Wendy Oliveras, author.
And
Let's play chess.
This happens to be like my slogan that's been following me. The slogan: think, plan, react. Be the chess player, not the chess piece.
Oh my God, I
From
like
pawn
that.
to queen. Yeah.
Now, where did you come up with that? Did you write that?
Absolutely.
You did?
Every single word in that book.
Did you have any background in writing? Did you like take? I know. Oh, actually, yeah.
Well, I've always been an honor student, so
As far as you have a master's
I
of
have a-
science degree, right?
I have a master's in human resources management from the New School.
From the new school.
Yes.
You have a master's of science.
Yes.
Oh, nice. In human resources.
Human resources management.
And then you have a certificate as well, a postmaster certificate
Postgraduate certification in career development and planning.
from the new school. The new school is
Yes,
a great school.
I love that school.
Parsons, right?
It's
Or is that not the same?
well, they have sub schools.
Right around the Union
the new
Square
school,
area,
yes,
correct?
yes.
And they're building a new campus.
I hear.
and
I
it looks
hear.
really nice.
I graduated in 2004.
That's awesome. I love that school. It's a great school. It's very
Yes.
it's very creative.
Yes.
There's a lot of creative
absolutely,
people that go there.
Absolutely.
Right? And but what about writing though? Like back as far as like, did you ever take any courses on writing? And stuff?
No, I'm just.
I was an
I've
English
just been-
major actually. I have my bachelor's in English.
Well, my undergrad degree is in political science
Mm-hmm.
and pre-law. So I wanted to. There was a point in my life that I really wanted to become a trademark and entertainment lawyer because I'm a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to see and experience a lot of the injustices that were done to some of these artists.
Why didn't you go to law
musicians.
school?
I tried. I tried
did?
that route, yeah. But
Did you take the LSAT?
Yeah, about 3 times.
You know, I walked out of the LSAT. I actually I did an interview with a New York State Supreme Court justice. Justice John W. Sweeney Jr. He was. I talked him into doing it. He liked my the persistence quote by Calvin Coolidge.
Yes.
Sent him an email and he said I can never deny anybody that quotes Calvin Coolidge.
Okay.
But he let me come to the appellate court in Madison, right across the street from Madison Park.
Yes.
Do you know where that is? Mm-hmm. And got to conduct the interview just like this, just like we're doing inside of his chambers. It was pretty awesome. But when I met him, I was asking him what he does and everything. He says he's in law. I said, what kind of law are you in? He told me he's a judge. He's actually a New York State Supreme Court justice.
Wow.
And I told him how I had taken the LSAT, and I walked right out of the test.
Did you walk out at the beginning of the test, in the middle, or the end?
Oh, it was the games section.
Oh, logical games.
I hate the games section.
Yeah,
I can read and I can write like a champ.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
And I feel like I do have an inquisitive mind, but I didn't study that much. I didn't really go to the the preparation.
Well, I had taken
courses.
the Kaplan prep courses, but I think at that point in my life, I was working. I live in Jersey City, and then my commute into New York was a pain. So I just couldn't see myself going into New York to work.
Why are you making excuses?
Well, no, because it was a lot for me at that time, physically. I mean, I had to go to New York, work at a law firm, 9 to 5, and then go to school at night for 4 years, 4 days a week. And at that time in my life, I didn't see that like being feasible for me when you're self-supportive as well. So
you could have ended up as Sotomayor.
I probably would have.
Yeah.
I probably would have, because I have that.
If you had to do it over again, would you do it? Would you try to become you could do it at any time. Honestly,
become a lawyer?
You could become an attorney at any time.
I don't aspire to be a lawyer because I've been a legal recruiter. I've been recruiting lawyers in their job search for the past 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
And
it's
I
pretty
can
bad
assure
for
you
them
that
right
I'm not
now,
very
right?
impressed with it. So
no?
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'm not either.
I'm not impressed with it. It's a wonderful career, but I tell people that when they want to go to law school, I say, look, that's great, but remember, you don't necessarily have to become a lawyer per se. You can get a law degree and open up new avenues, different careers. You don't necessarily have to be a lawyer and practice law. I know so many lawyers today that wish they weren't practicing.
No?
And they want to do
Really?
something else. As they get older, they want to do something different with their lives. And so some of them want to move to another country, maybe develop a business over there. Because, that becoming a lawyer is it's tough.
Do they find themselves like pigeonholed into the thing?
Absolutely.
Because they like the money, but then it's not very fulfilling.
Absolutely.
Kind of deal.
Yeah. What happens with a lot of the associates, the new associates, is that they join firms with these high expectations of perhaps becoming a partner in 6 to 8 years. Mm-hmm. But they're not being trained. Management, the executive committee, sometimes have a lot of issues internally that they can't resolve. It's like our government, politically. So,
you want to get political?
Well, no. I'm just saying that politically, there's, in the law firm, there's a lot of politics involved in that.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's like a major way to become a politician, right? Usually.
So a lot of the, especially after the economic downturn, a lot of the large law firms began to lose their clientele because the large corporations decided we're not going to pay these high hourly rates when we can go to the small firm, the boutique firms that they never paid attention to before, and now all of a sudden the boutique firms seem appealing now. Now I want to get the same quality representation, legal representation, for a lot less, because everyone started to cut corners, save money. And so it was a cyclical issue. Economic downturn, people stopped hiring, and as you know, a lot of people lost jobs from here and abroad. This was international, not just here in the United States.
Yeah. So that affected your business.
Well, can you imagine if I'm a strictly commission-based business and no one is getting hired, what am I to do? So I took a step back and I internalized and I says, okay, I got to really assess what I'm doing here. What are my skill sets? What do I know? What don't I know? What do I like? What don't I like? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? What doesn't make me happy? right?
I love this.
I had to sit down and analyze myself in a way that I have never had to do before.
Okay, I'm getting up on my pedestal now, and now I'm going to do the motivational speaking thing because you just inspired me to do it.
Good.
But no, because oh,
Good,
God, you
good.
really strike a chord because
Good.
this is one thing I try to tell other people because I had an epiphany.
Yes.
Because I have a good friend named Dinesh. He's an Indian gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
I've been friends with him from college. He was actually the reason why I was able to graduate college. I wouldn't even graduated from college if I hadn't met this guy.
Right.
But you know how Indians are.
Yeah, they're
very, very, very studious and motivated.
Yes, they're very motivated. And
We weren't allowed to have TV in the
dorm room?
In the dorm room,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
I learned so much. Anyway, so fast forward a couple of years after we're back out in the real world, and I have my
Right.
own business for the first time.
Right.
And it's very successful actually. I had a successful insurance agency for about 3 years.
Good.
Down in Florida, we sold health,
Okay,
life, and
good.
variable annuities.
Good.
2008 happened, right?
Yeah.
The particular thing that we were selling called Medicare Advantage. I don't know if you're aware of this or whatever.
No, I
It was
don't-
a
I'm not.
specific thing
Yeah.
for Medicare recipients. Part C. There's usually Part A, Part B, but it was created by Bush or Clinton or whatever. But Part C. But that basically went away when Obama came in because it is kind of a scam thing. All right? So anyway, I'm happy about it. Actually, I wanted a change in my life.
Right.
And I was like, Dinesh, just talking to him on the phone, this is all going on, and I kind of at a crossroads here. What the heck should I do, man?
Right.
And he goes, just like you were saying just now,
Yeah.
meditate.
Yeah.
Think
Absolutely.
about what is it that you want to do in
Right.
your life, right? What
Right.
are all
Right.
the things that attribute,
Right.
that you're good at doing, that you enjoy doing, where
Right.
it doesn't feel like a job,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And then any kind of barriers that you foresee, throw those down. Don't think about that, and come up with your idea.
Right.
And so I came up to do a T-shirt business.
You see?
Because there's a
See?
lot of reasons. I don't want to go in the whole reason list because
Okay.
this is focusing on you today.
Yeah.
Here, okay. But I just like that reminded me of that. That's
We
and
can't lose sight of that. And that's one of the messages in SHESS
right.
and that ideology that I'm hoping that women will adopt in their lives is that, nothing is going to be perfect, and that's okay. You don't have to win at everything. That's okay. You're not going to be successful at everything, but that's okay. The key is knowing who you are, right where you are right now in this very moment in your life. Who are you with? What are you doing?
What do you want to?
And
Who do
what
you want to
do
be
you-
with?
And
What
who-
do you want to be
Exact-
doing? Right?
Exactly. But you have to be aware of it. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to do this," when you know you don't have the skills for that. And that's fine. But then you have to start
Then you have to learn all those
strategizing
skills.
to learn those skills.
When I
to
started
get to
making
that other
T-shirts,
point.
I didn't know how to do graphic
Okay.
design.
Okay.
I didn't know how to screen print. I got a post. Well, I was not a master's, degree. I had a bachelor's degree, but I got a certificate from NYU
Okay.
in graphic design, and
Wonderful.
went back and learned all the courses.
yeah.
And then I started working for somebody for free at their print shop, and I learned how to do
in
everything.
all of my life, I've never taken a marketing class per se.
Right.
And I think that what I'm doing, what I've done on my own because of what I read and I research and I inquire and I'm inquisitive and I want to learn more, and I take proactive steps to make things happen for myself. All of those skill sets I've developed on my own without even realizing it. But that's part of being a chess player in my game of life, is not being afraid of taking a chance. Because I'd rather try at something than not try at all.
Right.
I
Well-
want to just try it.
Charles Bukowski was a great writer. He said, "Don't try, do."
Yeah.
I think don't try, do. Right?
Yeah, just
Don't-
do it. Just try
do
it. Just do it.
Just do it.
And whatever
We're all
happens, then
human.
you deal with it. Yes.
We're all going to die someday. What are you
Yes.
doing right now? What do you want to do with your life?
Right.
Do it. Do
I
it.
agree.
Every day. It doesn't matter, right?
I agree.
That's how I feel.
That's how I feel too.
What did we learn today? We learned a lot today. Let's recap.
What we've
Right?
learned today is that women should not fear to learn to play chess. Do not be intimidated by the game, because those skill sets, such as focus and memorization and pattern recognition, critical thinking, logical thinking, all of those skill sets will help you. If you develop them by playing chess, you can transfer those skills successfully into your daily activities.
Once you have the big idea, though, right?
Well,
You have
yeah,
the
well,
big,
I mean,
the big
yeah.
idea, you're going towards it.
Yeah,
And
I mean-
knowing chess, right?
Yeah.
will help you tenfold above your competition, which, I mean...
Well, you'll have an advantage.
You'll have an advantage because
Yeah.
you're using all these things to make
Yeah.
yourself get to that
Yes,
point where you need to be
because you're
at.
sharpening your intellectual weaponry.
Right.
a
Everybody
chess
needs to
player.
do that. Wendy Oliveras, thank
Yes.
you so much for being on my podcast today. I really,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. I had a wonderful time.
For the Bobby Pickles podcast from Bryant Park in New York City, I'm Bobby Pickles.
That's Enzo.com.
So what are we doing right now? Right now, so we just finished up our podcast.
We're just setting up the pieces.
Basically, we were finishing up our podcast, and I asked a gentleman who was happening by if he would take a picture of us for the website. And it just so happened that he's a chess player, right? What's your name, man?
My name's Kevin.
Kevin, you were just coming by, and we asked you to take a picture, and then you're commenting about that you're a chess player, and nobody's really set up out here right now, right?
Yeah, it's too cold, but Bryant Park is the best place for chess in New York.
It is?
All summer long, yeah.
You play out here a lot. How long have you been playing for?
About 12, 13 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're a teacher too?
Yeah, I teach science in public schools.
So you're a somewhat intelligent individual, right?
Well, I have an analytical mind. Good at chess, good at science.
Is that what it takes to be good at chess?
Well, you have to have the right attitude.
You do?
Yeah.
What attitude? What kind of attitude do you have to have?
Well, you got to be able to put your ego aside because you got to lose for about 10 years.
Really?
You have to, when you start off, you have to
Oh my
lose
God,
and
I'm
lose
having
and
a
lose.
episphany right now, right? That's just like the game of life, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. You get beat down and beat
You're going
down.
to get beat down and beat down and beat down. You're going to keep trying, but you're going to be
And then one
good
day you get
eventually,
good.
right?
One day you'll wake up and you'll be good.
And that's what Wendy's book is all about. And would you agree with that? That's a good metaphor for life?
It is a good metaphor for life. Yeah, a lot of people compare chess to life. Yeah, put the pawn to queen, the peasant to the success, upward
Right.
mobility there.
Absolutely, yeah. So, do you teach your kids this kind of thing? Do you tell the kids that you teach about chess playing at all? Do you ever use it as a metaphor for when you're teaching science or just like a life lesson? Does anybody know at all?
Yeah,
at
they all
school
know I'm a
you're
chess
into
player at school. All the students know. I used to have a chess club, but the funding was cut for clubs.
It was?
Yeah, unfortunately. Unless it's like a math club or an English club. No more chess club. That's a shame.
Where do people play now? You said that you're gonna go to where people do play right now because it's a little colder out.
Yeah, it's too cold now, so they're all at a bank around the corner.
They are?
The bank lets us play there. I'm
Really?
not sure what bank it is.
What, it like shields the cold a little bit to
Yeah, it's
be
warm in there.
Oh, you're inside the bank?
Inside the bank, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what bank it is, but I should transfer my money there because
Yeah, you should.
I'd like to ask you, what percentage of women do you actually see engaged in chess out here in Bryant Park?
out here there's a few. Most of them watch. A lot of them stop and watch. There's a couple of female chess players, but it's growing.
It is.
You know, it's good. When I had a chess club, I had a lot of girls in my chess club,
Right.
because it lets girls and boys compete on
Right.
on the same level. There's no
Right.
advantage.
Were you aware that statistically there's approximately 3% of women competing professionally worldwide?
3%
3%
of the chess players are women.
of women competing professionally is 3%,
3% of the chess players
Yeah.
are women. Yeah.
which is an
That's not too
extremely low percentage, isn't it?
You know
What would you attribute that to, maybe?
I would attribute that to the lack of a female top 10 player right now. There's no in the elite chess elite. There's no women.
Yeah.
There used to be one, Judith Polgar.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of her?
Well, what about Susan Polgar?
Susan Polgar, but they're not active anymore. They don't play.
Yeah,
They're
not
retired.
at.
They write and they.
Yeah, but we have this young Asian woman. I think she's ranked number 1. Yuhan, I think it is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. But again, I know who you're talking about, but I don't really know her. And she's not. Like the candidates match just
Right.
ended yesterday for who's going to play the world champion, and there was no women there. It's all.
Yeah.
What they need is a star. You know.
But how does she become a star when there's so many barriers? There are some barriers.
But the
Barriers
chess
in-
world is pretty open and welcome. I mean, actually,
Professionally, it's a little difficult to break those
it is because
barriers for women.
for women, I guess, because they don't, they you really have to dedicate your life to it. Like I know that Judith
Yeah.
Polgar had a baby, and that was the end. That was
Yeah.
the end of her chess career.
If there is any advice that you can give to a woman, a young girl, what would that be about chess?
I would say join your chess club and play chess with your family. Because for me,
Good.
I was always a very poor student, and then I was actually going to audio school down here at IAR.
Okay.
And I started going to Washington Square Park
Okay.
every day, and I started playing chess, and all of a sudden, my mind turned on, and I started to love to learn.
That's
And it
wonderful.
changed my life. And then after that, I went back to college.
Do you attribute better grades because
Absolutely.
you became a chess player?
Yeah, it turned
Good.
my mind on. So like I would learn,
excellent.
and I would lose, study, come back, win a game, or learn something, and wow, I could actually learn, and it's fun to learn. And then I started to learn other stuff.
Would you agree with me that because you're a chess player, you're a better thinker, problem solver in your life, personally and professionally?
It probably saved my life because I was I was pretty much a bum before I started playing chess.
Wow.
Usually people play.
That's very deep. Thank you for that. Thank you for that statement, because that's my contention in my book is that, ladies, we should not fear or be intimidated by the game. We should learn. I've been playing for fun for 35 years, and I am who I am because I play chess. And so I think it's really important that we spread the message to all the young girls in our communities, in our families, to learn to play chess, because those skill sets will and can be successfully transferred to your daily activities, including business development.
It trains your mind to think.
Absolutely.
It's like practice, like a workout for your brain.
Yes. Thank you for agreeing with me. Yes.
Hey, man, talk to me really quick about like your experience when you were hanging out at Washington Square Park. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you went to? That's another spot where everybody plays?
Yeah, Washington Square Park down in the village.
Yeah? So you're from New York?
I'm from Jersey. I live in New York now.
Oh, you're from Jersey. Yeah. Look at this.
I was raised in Bayonne in Jersey City.
Oh, I live in Jersey City.
Oh, yeah, I teach in Jersey City.
Really? So we have to connect.
Mm-hmm.
I have to talk to you. I need your number.
Sure.
Because I'm developing a chess club, and I'm looking for teachers to teach these women the basics.
Yeah, I'm involved with the whole chess community, so I'm a good person to know in chess.
Yes, wonderful.
Wow, we just made a connection. You're adding...
Major connection.
And look at you adding to your networking once again.
What are the odds of me meeting the man who lives in Jersey City, who teaches chess?
The odds are you're with me, and I decided to ask this gentleman to take a picture of us.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Look at that. Now
it was meant to be. Things happen for a reason.
Absolutely. Where do you teach in Jersey City, man?
I teach at number 7 in the Heights. I live here in Midtown, and I work in Jersey City.
Oh, okay.
Taking the path all the time. I used to live in by Grove Street area also.
I like that area. Yeah.
Wonderful. Cool.
Heights is a little up there though, right? A little farther. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
1, 2, 3. FatEnzo.com. 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 FatEnzo.com.